So my name's Alex Chiu, and I painted the mural on the 82nd Street Max Transit stop. So I feel like it feels different out here on 82nd Street. I feel like there's a wider diversity of people. So I wanted to do something that celebrated kind of the demographic out here, and also have a chance to highlight people who actually work in the community and do things for people. So the story and the idea of it, I have this girl. It's actually my daughter, but it's a young girl. She's 2 years old that I painted on the wall, and she kind of, to me, is a symbol of the future generation. And I have 9 different pieces that I did for this mural, and each piece is kind of depicts how the community is giving back to or educating the next generation. So over here, this section is establishing the main character. So I have this animated panel of it's 8 different images of the girl, my daughter Mazzy, who's running towards the viewer, and the idea is just to establish the main character. I represented Olive and Dingo. They're children's performers. They're children's performers, and they do story time, but they're also clowns, and they do performances. And I know that they're kind of celebrities here in Portland for young children. So I wanted to feature them in the mural just to show an example of storytelling for kids and then events that they have for kids. So I contacted a lot of different community organizations to reach out to see if they'd be interested to represent people that they work with. And APANO, it's the Asian Pacific organization, they helped me get in touch with Ally. So Ally is the Asian Leaderships for the Liberation of Youth, and it takes all the young kids, usually high school age, and it gives them a place to socialize and talk about issues and learn different things. I specifically got together at one of their meetings and hosted kind of an art making day, and I depicted an image of one of the girls teaching Mazzy how to spell her name, how to write her name. So it's like art and writing and self-expression. This is actually a worship leader, a music director at the church that I go to, Imago Dei East Side. They have services over at David Douglas High School. This is kind of the idea of teaching kids music, educating them, and teaching them some culture. There's organizations that work with youth, and some youth even in detention facilities, and it focuses on hip-hop. They're called the Morpheus Youth Project. So hip-hop is like is a youth culture that teaches all aspects of creativity. So there's rapping, which is MCing, there's DJing, there's graffiti art, and there's breakdancing. So it's like movement, music, poetry, art. So this is Kevin Lee and Carlos Sanchez. They teach the program, and I had them do some breakdancing in front of Mazzy, and I kind of captured a moment where it looks like Mazzy's trying to imitate one of the dancers, Kevin. So this over here, I got in touch with a Native American activist whose name is Phoenix, and she gathered a community of Native Americans to come together and to kind of talk about culture and try to explore different things that she wanted to represent her community with. And they have a sage smudging ceremony, which is a cleansing ceremony. I showed an image of an elder Native American woman teaching Mazzy about sage smudging. I depicted a picnic that I staged. My friend Letty actually brought me to her reading group. She does a lot of activism, and she works with youth. I know that she's fostering a child, and she also is in charge of Brown Girl Rise, which is like a female empowerment group that she does. So their book group got together and had a picnic, a fish fry actually. So one of the women in the group, her parents came and fried some fish, and we had a picnic together, a potluck. And I was able to bring Mazzy to that, to interact with other kids, but also to participate in the picnic. And then finally, this is a family portrait. This is the last image, is a family portrait. It's actually our bedroom, and we're doing story time with Mazzy. So she's in the middle, and I'm with my wife, and we're reading a storybook to Mazzy. And what's interesting is it's a potty training book called Everyone Poops. Okay. I didn't want to make that super explicit, but it's a really fun book. So that's one of our favorite books. So I got to depict that as well. Okay. So there's like forms of storytelling and literacy and reading to your child that I depicted. Yeah. And it's all a part of basically highlighting the future generation, like the idea of like what we do as a community to bring up the next generation. So at the very bottom, I assembled a group of kids to play at, there's a park near Madison High School. I forget the exact name of the park, but there's this old vintage metal slide. It's like a big, beautiful vintage slide made out of metal. And I had a photo shoot in front of that space. And I got to capture the slide in the background, but I brought bubbles and snacks and balls for people to play with. And I basically, there's people who are already playing there that I had a chance to photograph, as well as people that I know, as well as people who were gathered from IRCO, which is the Immigrants and Refugees organization that's nearby. And they brought kids down to play together, and we did snacks, and we did bubbles, and we just had them run around at the park. So I got to capture the large image that you see when you drive by the 82nd freeway. It's on the staircase. That's just all kids from the neighborhood, and kind of sums up the whole concept of the piece by highlighting a variety of youth in the area.
I like community.
Okay, I'm gonna get the second song, so I think.
We're so happy to be here at the Lents Fair. You hasten to abandon at the gate, but years have torn our pages away and drown out the bad guys in every corner and every face. What you do around me, we lie beside the stove of our own show and hold on to the rain, to what we know, try for the real life, every chance on every page. Watch you choose the wrong way. At the root of it all, you have a habit to break. You gotta loosen your hold, you have to give it away. Your skeleton and
second year to roll, and so we made some modifications to the cart, and it seems very solid. We bombed down a place called Rocky Butte a few nights ago. We got it up to 40 miles an hour. Nice. So Tabor's a little slower. Okay. But that's the story. And you just went down?
Yeah, I just finished the first heat and went smooth. Barely won. It's fun.
Won.
But I won.
Nice.
That's the important part.
So you're in traffic on Rocky Butte, just bombing down the hill?
There was no traffic that night. For some reason, there were just no cars there. So
the pace car and a follow car. It was very secure. We're highly professional.
I can tell by the jumpsuit.
Yeah, this is my speed suit. This is how we won the first race.
All right. Thanks, guys. This is looking super duper fly.
This is the Big Daddy Caddy, and the inspiration behind it is a drifting Cadillac. So this car has four-wheel steering. You got steering here, and you got steering here, and the car can go sideways down the hill.
What?
Yep.
Have you already raced?
Yep. Yeah, you should watch us down there. The crowd thinks we're going to crash, and then we pull out.
How'd it go?
It went pretty good. Time of 1:22, so not super bad.
So you're bombing down the hill, then all of a sudden you dip sideways?
Yep. Turn the car sideways. It looks like it's drifting down the hill.
Wow.
Yep.
All right. What do we have here?
Kind of a disaster. I mean, no, this is our baby carriage. We're the newly born winners. Yeah, full of babies and more babies. Yeah.
Beer, hopefully.
And beer, of course. Nice. Always beer.
First year for y'all, or what?
There's some shared experience. Manny's done it. This is the second year, and our firm's done it a couple of years in a row. So, yeah.
It's been good. It's been fun. It's definitely fun to be able to come out here and like just get the crowd going and make a fool of yourself. Sure, why not? But it's good. Good stuff.
Who's your driver?
We are just switching in and out every heat. So, share the love, have the fun. Everyone can experience it as much as possible. So
right on.
Yeah, definitely.
Any other words of wisdom?
Oh,
that's a big one.
Get good bearings.
Good bearings. Okay.
We haven't been able to actually finish the cross the finish line yet. We've had to push, so we think the key is good wheels. No matter what else you do.
That's what we keep hearing.
That's yeah, exactly. So those are words of wisdom. Have fun, build big, get a good concept. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good time.
Very cool. Y'all looking sharp, guys.
What's the name of your rig?
This is Billy the Bass. I was watching homemade. Don't know if you can tell that or not.
Yeah. So I saw your takeoff before. How are y'all going to change it up this time?
We have better pushing positions now so that we can get more speed and keep our speed because we kind of slowed down very quickly last time.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, good luck, y'all.
Thanks.
Grab a shot of the story.
There's a technique to it. So you hold it to where the beer is going down this way.
He's the only one in the shot, by the way.
And then you make the thing here.
I wouldn't give. I'd give that guy.
Make it big enough. Somewhat of a yeah. And you try not to make it to where you're going to punch your lip.
So, girls' bikes I take apart. I probably got 10.
Check it out. All right.
Don't go leave it.
This is a great idea. It's for Mike. So I put it into my mouth and then I head it up and then.
What that was dead
Awesome, man. So I started to. I hit it. So it's a cornhole. It's cornhole and it's a derby racer.
Well, it gets boring sometimes waiting for the next heat. So it's like, what? We could sit here and fucking get real drunk, or we'd play cornhole. Who knows?
So it's just to make sure you don't get too hit up.
Oh, nobody said we weren't going to get too hit up. But, you know, passes the time. It's entertaining, you know?
What brought this team together? What's the center point here?
Oh, shoot. We've been doing it for a long time. I mean, Austin, you've been the driver for what, 5, 6 years?
Something like that, yeah.
One of my buddies down there, he has a team, and I got on there 11 years ago and started doing this, and started getting bigger, built different teams, different art cars or speed cars. I mean, we've done a little bit of everything, so it's just a fun thing to do with all your buddies. I mean, like, instead of hanging out at the bar, we hang out in our yard and just weld and throw beanbags at each other, and yeah, so it's just a fun event.
How long does it take to put a car together? Like, how much lead time do you need?
We probably should have done this in about like 2 weeks after work of build, but it took us about 3 months. So
we get drunk.
Yeah, I mean, this year we built this entire thing from the ground up. So I mean, every year we pretty much build a new chassis.
I respect that.
Yeah, it's challenging, but I mean, it's fun also to see what it does. I mean, last year kind of had bad times. This year, now we're kind of contending, so it was fun just to see what we put together.
Not to focus on the negative, but what happened last year that was the bad times?
Shit disc drum brake.
Yeah, it's just a bad rear wheel. We were in a trike setup, so we had a single wheel in the back last year. And this year we saw the
drum brake, which just dragged us down the whole fucking time.
And this year, so I mean, one of the things about this too is like this year on the Facebook post, we have lots of friends that are always here. This guy right here, Fosta Man, Aaron, he called us out, everybody out, and he's like, we haven't had a four-wheel racer that is fast. So, challenge accepted. We built a four-wheel racer and went for it. So
there's a bit of trash talking in the scene. Would you say that?
Oh, absolutely. After all these years of
up here, it's like have some beers and talk some shit, man. But at the end of the day, it's like, all right, cool, man. You guys built a rad car. It's like, all right, yeah.
Would
you like a beer? What's that? Would you like a beer? I'm okay.
What about the camera guy? The camera guy's good. But yeah, so no, it's, as you can see, pretty fun times.
Indeed.
Worth partaking in.
Any advice to a newbie or somebody looking to get involved in the derby scene?
Have fun.
Don't die.
Don't die.
Don't die.
Don't die.
Don't fucking die.
And also, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of videos of this. Just look at other people's
Don't
cars.
forget,
I mean,
it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah. Always have fun.
Yeah.
Rule number one.
Be prepared to hurry up and wait.
So no corporate sponsors on your car here?
Well, we go to local pub.
Okay.
Or tavern. Misdemeanor Meadows. Give them credit.
Hey, I love those guys.
Misdemeanor Meadows, dude.
Provided us with beers.
The shit.
Yeah, they provide us with a lot
Like
of
comic books and punk rock, dude. That's the place to go.
And Mexican food. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're familiar. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Excellent.
Huge credit.
It's like just make it. What do you start your business and make it exactly how you want it?
Yeah.
We like comic books. We like punk rock. We like Mexican food.
Yeah,
and that's what they did.
The best rolled in one place. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Jesse and Linda fucking killed it.
How long did it take you to work on this?
Way too long. Yeah, this is 12 years in the making, actually.
Wow.
And just this piece right here, 40 hours. So.
That's hand done?
Made it by hand, yeah. First time ever working with polycarbonate. I don't recommend it for anybody. It's so annoying.
Why is that?
The glue sticks instantly, and then it will break later, and it cracks. There's glare. It's annoying.
Okay.
Let's just put it at that. Yeah, it's just...
How to run?
Okay, well, here's the story for you.
Please.
I was way out ahead. Usually I'm 4th place in this event, 1 second off a 3rd. Coming around the turn, the learning curve we call it.
Yeah.
I start getting a skid out from the weight of this 18 gauge cover that I put on. This year is the first time I ever put a cover on it. I'm just convertible usually. As I'm coming around the turn, I can't control my spin, so I spin, do a 180, and I was still going probably 25, 30 miles an hour. So I finished the course backwards.
Nice.
And then the guy behind me comes around the turn. He's catching up with me because I slowed down, scrubbed a bunch of speed around the turn. He has a GoPro on his helmet, which is awesome. But the look on his face when he saw me going backwards was priceless. I mean, it was really classic.
Excellent.
So, anyway. 12th year.
12th year, wow.
Yeah. And we started off with a canoe, basically. It's completely different than it was, except for the front end. The front end is built by some engineers and a machinist, that were my friends. I'm just the driver, basically. And I bring together people with talents. Basically.
Nice.
That's all I do. I got an electrician friend and steel. This is all plate steel. Weighs 300 pounds. It may not look like it, but it does. So, yeah.
One more question. What's the biggest newbie mistake? You've been out here a while. What's the biggest newbie mistake you've seen in the race? For designers.
Well, oftentimes people put big tires on them, like a 26-inch wheel, and they just put unless it's a really nice carbon fiber wheel, it's going to taco in the turn. That's very common. Or people just take like a lawnmower chassis. They're like, oh yeah, let's make it out of these. They got big fat wheels that are soft. You want to be at least like 60 psi. So you need a tire that's 60 psi. And less tread the better on the track. So I'm at 95 psi, and 3 wheels is better than 4.
Okay, everybody moves. How many volunteers does it take to make this thing happen?
About 120.
Wow.
We have a board of 8 that work on it all year. We have board meetings once a month.
All year round?
All year round.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yep.
How much money, permits, and stuff does it take to make this happen? Because you have a lot of support.
Absolutely. It takes around 30,000.
30,000.
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And mainly that's city permits, or is that honey buckets and stuff?
It's everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's straw bales, cones, honey bucket. Most of it goes to the city.
Yeah.
City and toilets are our biggest ones.
right.
Honestly.
As it should be. Yeah. and you make that back. That's why you're selling merch and stuff, is to kind of get that back.
Yep.
And you have sponsors.
And we also this year we became a 501c3,
Awesome.
and we're rebuilding the kids track.
Awesome.
We're raising money.
Where is
and
that?
25% of our proceeds this year are going, and last year, are going to the kids fund.
Oh wow.
The kids track is it's right at Station 8. We're that kind of straight, and you're like, why is that there? When you overlook the reservoir from the track.
Not familiar. We can see it.
But there's numbers on the track and you can get there. But yeah, that's the old. It's from the 50s. It's been decommissioned since the late 50s.
I've never even seen it. I'm here all the time.
Yep. It's where the food trucks are. If you go down there and you see the food truck lane, that's the old kids track that we're going to refinish and,
so we're gonna
bring
make
back
that
the kids.
Really, really cool.
Get the kids' hands into building things and off the little gadgets.
Nice. I like it. Cool. Thank you.
A quiet neighborhood street in East Portland. Each house, each business, each organization has its own unique life, its own unique story. And even with the ability to reach the entire world in their pockets, many neighbors are choosing to focus their time and energy where they can have the most impact, their nearby community, their neighborhood. They're supporting neighborhood businesses and services, they're learning about their schools and community organizations, they're finding ways to get involved and take action. Village Portland was founded to spotlight localism and celebrate this important kind of community service. It's your village, let's explore it together.